I think that is going to be the last controller, right? No, it actually isn't. Oh, wait. How did I get myself stuck in here now? Oh boy. Great. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of Scrap Mechanic with me, Spacefish. Still got the seat hovering on the wall. I actually just realized that we put that up there sometime. You know, can I have a little sit and everything? Just drive the building. Oh, wait, we can actually stay up here. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so welcome back. As you can see in my inventory, we've got another 204 blocks of metal because I've been busy in between episodes mining away like crazy because if you all remember from the last episode, we're still very much trying to get this truck up and running. Now, we ended off last episode with this kind of solution where, well, we don't really have the space for a rearwards facing bumper. As you can see, I can't really place the block right there because else it would glitch. And I would ideally actually probably want to place like another, what, 3 blocks probably? Wait, 1, 2, 3. So the bumper would actually be on a 4th block. And I really don't like this. I mean, I was thinking about this back and forth because, you know, we did spend a good bit of time on this last episode. I do realize that. But in the end, I feel we've spent so much time on this stuff now that if we are actually doing it, I want to do it properly with you all. So yeah, I'm just going to pull this down again real quick. We are going to move this mechanism back by 4 blocks. Then we're going to put it back up, and then we are actually going to put more metal into the truck and actually expand it further. I don't really expect it to be taking too long anyways, to be honest. So overall, I hope this should be pretty quick and fast and fine, and half of this thing's going to fall down in a second. Whoops. But that's fine. We're going to pick that up. And, well, we're going to just redo this mechanism 4 blocks further back real quick. And then we should hopefully be good to go. So let's do just that. We will do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll expand this thing out a bit as well. Do I have it here? I'm not quite sure. We'll check that out in just a second. I do have my bearings right in here, so we're going to go pick those up. Place that mechanism right there. And we will now configure that ramp like this instead. So I will have to actually connect this thing up to get some force on it. But I do want to make that ramp somewhat long, so we're going to probably extend the ramp out a bit further from the back, if that makes sense. And it's maybe not actually too bad, because that should also mean that we will get a bit more weight onto these axles, which, you know, should hopefully be a good thing. Gonna expand this thing all the way out here, of course. And then we're gonna have to check out if it actually works with wheel well and bumper and everything else that I have planned for this truck. So, the idea would be here that we go 1, 2, and 3 out from this bumper. Actually, probably more. Well, maybe we can do it like this. And then we would have the bumper right here, pretty much, right? So this is going to be the bumper of my truck, basically, where I do want to build, like, a little bit of a bumper, so, you know, bots can just slide under the truck and demolish it from underneath or something like that, and we can also, you know, finish off the wheel well on everything within that same path. So that should hopefully be good. In case this all works as intended. Now we will have to redo the rotation part of things, of course, because that always gets reset. Fall through the thing, activate it, and there we go. Why did it just go back? Okay. Alright, there we go. As you can see, nothing seems to be bugging into the surface, which is great news. Now, I can, of course, not make the bumper any higher, but at least I can finish it off right here, and I think that should be nice and awesome. So, I think I would like to ideally make this, like, 1 bit longer, and then have the wall. We'll kind of have to see also how big we want to make the ramp at the very end of this thing, if that makes sense. But for the time being, let me go and tilt this back up. I think having it one longer shouldn't be too much of a worry. Then again, it would probably look a bit weird with the bumper being all the way back there, wouldn't it? Maybe I would actually like to make it shorter even. Let's keep it at this for the time being, and we will find out what we will do when we get to that part. Now, of course, I'm going to continue this little scheme that I had going on right here over there too. Don't really need to stop this right here, to be honest. That kind of works perfectly. I am maybe eventually going to put like some gaps in this wall or something, because this wall does have to go higher up at the very end, I think. And I don't really want to put too much weight on this kind of stuff. So let's see about that. I'm going to keep a gap of 2 right there. And, well, we also should probably stack our metal, because else I'm going to be super worried that we don't really have that much. Okay, so next thing on the list, I really want to actually get this thing on the lift, to be honest, just so we can kind of sink it into the ground again and I can work on it a bit easier without having to worry about falling off all the time. So we will go and extend this little kind of outline for our wall out here, and I'll also have to think about how I want to create this mechanism, because maybe we will, I don't know, I'm not sure how we will make this ramp. Maybe we will just make it like treads, so like kind of, I don't know, something that the vehicles can drive up on, or should we make it fully solid? I have to say I'm sort of unsure. Because like, I mean the width of the, so like the distance between the individual wheels of course kind of varies in between my vehicles, right? So we will not have something uniform in that regard. So there's probably something to think about and to consider, but I'm not quite sure about that just yet. Also, another thing to think about is probably this, because we will most likely need to have a gap in between the tilting platform and this loading surface right here to avoid having any glitchiness going on. Now, maybe we can do something like a tooth system to kind of make sure no vehicles are gonna fall off or something, you know, something like this basically. Could be doable. Let's could I do this without glitching things into, oh no, wait, yeah, okay. I'm gonna try that system out real quick just to actually make sure that doesn't grind or something. But yeah, so something like that would work. Maybe that is a good idea, because I'm kind of worried that for the smaller wheels we may have some issues, especially with like weaker vehicles. Did make some food, by the way, good news. But especially with like some weaker vehicles like that maybe don't have strong engines and have these small wheels that they just get stuck in there, or are like, or at least that it's going to be a painful experience actually driving these up. So I think this sort of tooth design may make sense in the way that it kind of helps the wheels have some grip at least somewhere. And I just fell off, yay. But I'm just going to implement that across the line here. I think that is probably a decent idea, so we are going to do that. And that's hopefully going to help a bit with that potential issue right there. Also, probably want to extend this thing all the way till the end, so let's do just that. Don't really want to remove one thing right here. We're going to keep it like that there. And I just fell off again. Oh, can I just... I'm just going to build like a little something to get me back up there, so I don't have to run around. So, next thing on the list is probably going to be actually getting the wall up right here too, and getting a bit more of this surface actually filled in. Now, over here, we don't really have that much of a design like we have right there yet, and I'm not even sure, do we have this thing extended all the way out like we do on the right side? Doesn't seem to be the case, does it? No, not very much at all, actually. I mean, this thing needs to be a whole lot wider looking at things, which is a bit weird. But I mean, the wheels are kind of boxed in a bit right there. Does that make sense? Wait a second. The wheels are at the right spot, right? Yeah, they are. Okay, so we do have both of these wheels starting after, okay. And then No, we've got 4 blocks right here. We've got 4 blocks right there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright, I was getting confused there for a second, but this is basically the edge, right? This is going to be the edge of the actual loading surface, and also the edge where we need to extend the fenders out towards. So, something that I'll have to adjust in a minute as well. Now, this here should still be good. And then we actually need to extend this one further out, because that is the wrong way to do things. And that'll kind of be the corner. Just going to remove these last 2 bits for the time being, because I'm not quite sure yet how we are going to do things. Wait, I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. But why is there 2 here when there's... Oh. Kind of have this design going a bit further, do I? Oh, right, so I basically have not got anything right there, because that is kind of where the fender extends out towards, and then this is the point where I don't want to grind at, so this would be the actual design, basically. Okay, so we got that copied over. That's nice, and I think things are now starting to take a bit more shape. I hope you're all more, like, getting the idea now. This fender I need to totally redo, I think, though. Given that we've moved things outwards a bit. I'm actually not 100% sure how I'm going to do the fenders, because, like, right here I've got, like, unnecessary elements too, I think, so... Gonna have to think about that. I think I don't want to really close this off, though. Because if I do, I don't really have access to the fender anymore. So, I'm going to close that off, but we're going to leave the loading surface kind of to the middle for the time being. Oh, and we're out of metal. Whoa. That's actually pretty crazy. Quite a lot faster than I really had anticipated. I thought this was going to last for more. As you can see, I mean, we're lacking a good bunch of metal still to actually complete this loading surface right here. Let me actually have a quick test for the time being if this whole mechanism still works now with my changes. As you can see, I think that we've got a bit more load on the back wheels now. We can also maybe make a quick driving test now that we've kind of weighed the vehicle down a bit. But let's try this. This looks like it's working flawlessly still, which is awesome. Of course, as I said, I mean, we need some sort of ramp to actually go all the way down there at the very end, but this nice slight 15-degree tilt is certainly got something for it, and I hope it helps us out a lot. And I mean, other than that, I think, like, thinking about things mostly, right? We need to close off the loading surface totally, for which we maybe need like 100 blocks, maybe like 150. We do need to redo the fenders, which is maybe like 100 blocks on top, and then we need to design a mechanism for the ramp, and then this thing is theoretically usable. I mean, afterwards, of course, we need like doors and the engine bay completed and everything, but the thing will be usable at that point, so that's very nice. I think I've already got the next project for after that, to be honest, because I really want to do a new miner. This thing is really grinding my nerves, and it takes me so long just to get those few materials, because it's underpowered, it doesn't have 4-wheel drive, it's sliding all over the place, and I only have one drill, so, like, it's, yeah, it needs changes. That's something for later. Now, let's do a quick driving test here, shall we? Really interested. Wow, still, that is actually quite mad. I hope we can still improve that. I really, really do hope we can still improve that. Hopefully through completing the loading surface, because that is so slidey. I mean, the thing is, right, if we go and tune down the engine a bit, which this is always hard at the moment because I don't have a hood designed properly yet. I had it nearly. I nearly had it. Yeah, this doesn't work. Okay, let's just do that. But if I tune this down slightly, right, this should be more usable, I hope. Why am I in third person? I don't know. Maybe actually not. Oh boy. That is actually quite crazy. I mean, yeah, as you can see right there, it seems the middle wheels do have more traction than the rear wheels. So hopefully when we design the bumper and everything, you know, we can weigh it down even more and we can get more traction onto the ground. But it's kind of mad at the moment. Let's hope that things go as planned in that regard for the time being. I'm going to close this off again. make sure it's nice and snug and safe in there. And why I am in third person again, I don't quite know. Now, with that said, why do I have... Oh, I do have it closed off there, but I don't... I mean, maybe we can get it closed off here as well, then. Should we? I don't know, like, the thing is, I don't even know how I'm going to design the doors, so maybe not just yet. Now, I would really like to consider how I want to do the mechanism back here, to be honest. Because it probably makes sense to integrate it into the loading surface. So, like, this last strip right here, I probably need to get rid of for the time being, because I'm going to have a bearing right here. It's going to take care of the mechanism for the actual ramp. Now, I do have one more controller left over, which would kind of mean that I cannot do anything for the hinge for the engine, which actually I can actually access that engine from above. I never knew. Wait, I actually already started designing... Wait. Is this pretty much done and I just never attached it? I mean, I need a button, I guess. Guess I don't have a button yet, right? We will have to find ourselves a button. But other than that, it feels like this thing's actually usable already, which is interesting. We've got a button even, just haven't placed it. I'm kind of confused. I'm going to place it here in the cockpit, pretty much like you would have it in a normal car. Well, not a button, but more like a... Oh, yeah, right. More like a little piece to pull, but here we go. And that thing opens up. That's actually kind of nice. Now, the only thing I actually am noticing is I wanted to actually have this thing go the other direction. So, that's the only part I would actually complain about right now. So, let's redo this thing real quick. It's kind of nice that I have it going for me already. I'm really surprised, to be honest. I am really, honestly, pretty surprised. This is a bit of a whoopsie. Let's fix that. So, the question kind of being, right, I will, of course, need a bit of space right there, too. But maybe we can make it look like an air intake or something. I would like to do that. Let's fix this so we can rest it nicely on the fuel tank, I hope, and then I think I would just like make it look like an air intake if possible up front here. So just like something like that, and then close it off, and then this will, you know, be the air intake for the engine, basically. That's the idea. And well, now, did I accidentally attach this to something? Kind of feels like I did. Yeah, look at that. That's better. And now, oh, squeeze it in. There. I think that's good. Oh, right. Didn't attach it. There we go. We need to set it up again. So, maybe minus 15 degrees now? I think? Yep, there we go. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Because, yeah, I wanted to make this hood kind of an inverse opening hood, if that makes sense. So, I mean, do we want 90 degrees all the way? Maybe not quite. Oh, I'm running again. Hello? Help? I'm being abducted by the game. The game always likes to abduct me somehow. 75? I think 60. Yeah, that's a nice tilt. And yeah, now we've got the engine bay actually accessible, which is kind of nice, because that means we can also start closing that off whenever I've got the last controller in there. I think that is going to be the last controller, right? No, it actually isn't. Oh, wait! How did I get myself stuck in here now? Oh boy. Great. Want to watch out with that, apparently. Don't want to do that. But, yeah, so the thing is, we actually need so many more controllers, just thinking about it now, right? We need one controller for... No, we actually don't need another controller for the mechanism back there. I just actually remembered we can all do it on one, and we should actually all do it on one, because I just want to press this button and the whole mechanism basically unfolds. But we will need another 2 controllers for the 2 doors for this truck. That's kind of annoying. So, yeah. Did I really just get stuck again? We need to put a caution sign there or something. This thing is really nice and very nicely parked up so I can just jump over. But let's just see quickly what we need for some controllers. Oh great, metal blocks. Good thing I don't have any more of those. Do I have any glue? I do also not have any glue, which by the way we're also starting to run low on fuel. But I do have a bunch of oil in here that I could probably just refine. Did collect a few component kits. Oh my god, I'm getting stuck everywhere today. Yeah, I did get a few component kits from killing a few bots on the way. But yeah, so we will need to collect more glue anyways, in order to make more controllers, because I do need another 2. And then we'll just use the metal that we farmed in. I'm not going to use any scrap metal for it now. But with that said, I actually firstly want to close off the engine bay. Perfect. And I would really like to design a mechanism for this stuff already, but issue kind of being that I don't really have enough blocks. I think we're just going to revert this here slightly, because I mean that's done in 2 seconds anyways, right? Not really. Like that costs us much time at all. I am actually having a bit of an issue here, because I will need to design this in a way again that things don't glitch into each other. So maybe we can do the tooth kind of system again? No, actually we can't in this instance. Ugh. So I really need to... Now I've got this nice and fancy tooth system over there, but I can't use it over here because... that's a bit of an annoyance, I'll have to say. Because, you know, I need some sort of space between here, right? So this thing doesn't actually glitch in to... Different idea. If I was to put the bearing up here... No, is that doable? No, that's not actually doable. Never mind me. The thing is... I guess we could potentially actually do the tooth system. Say if I remove one block right here. Wait, I need to... Let me just attach this real quick as well. Can I... Oh, I need to upgrade this. That's fine. There we go. Another thing in use. We can actually make this faster as well now, which is always great. But we will attach this thing to that controller as well. That will fix that for us. So the idea here being, right, we can, in theory, just have, well, something like this going, right? So we would just make it like that. And then just remove this one, keep one block here, like that, and then remove that one. Just something like that, right? That's another one of these tooth systems, basically, and that should work, I hope. We'll have to try it out. But I'm kind of confident that that should work without any buggeroo, glitcheroo kind of situation. So let's hope it will. That was the wrong button right there. Sorry, little metal block. I don't want to put a dent in you. But, yeah, so that kind of being the idea, I guess. For the ramp back there. In theory, this should work. And saying that, I know it's all going to blow up on me already. But let's see. I'm going to configure the controller right here. So we will tilt down the loading surface first, I think. And then we will do the actual ramp after. I think we'll try 45 degrees. Maybe a bit steep. Maybe we'll have to do 30. But let's go and click that button. Loading surface is going to come down. Then this thing is going to come down. Look at that mechanism. And it's stuck. Is it? Oh wait, no, it needs to come down more than 45 degrees, of course. It needs to come down 90 to be planar, so we will be doing 135. That should be the actual... Yeah, okay, so that's too much. We'll do 30 degrees, basically, so that's 120 in total. Still a bit much, to be honest. Maybe we'll just be doing the 15 as well and just make this thing a little longer. hope to still keep it looking good. But yeah, I mean, that way, yeah, okay, I mean, that makes sense. I kind of forgot, because this thing's already at an angle of 15 degrees, right? So if we add 45 to that, that thing is at 60 degrees. So now with 15 degrees, this thing is sitting at 30 degrees, and this looks very doable, to be honest, for most vehicles. We'll have to try it later. Maybe we'll have to redo it, but for the time being, it looks doable. So that's a good start. And I think that's kind of cool. I really like this tooth mechanism that I kind of thought of here. I hope you really like this design too. We'll, of course, have to work a bit more on this thing now. But look at that. The one thing tilts up, clunk, and the second thing tilts up. I really love this design. Can I just say that? Can I just be happy about that? Is that fine? I hope nobody thinks I'm bragging here, but I really do like this design a lot. I think it's looking good, and we're going to just end this stuff off right here, just like that, and then we are going to make this a bit longer, pretty much, and, well, expand it till it hits the ground, and I like it. I like this stuff. I really like this kind of sequential mechanism stuff. It's just so satisfying watching this thing unfold like a transformer, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be good. I'm really, really hyped about this. Really looking forward to that. So yeah, I think we're going to continue here in the next episode then with more metal. We're going to finally close off this bay. We're going to extend this thing upwards, and then this thing is already usable, but we'll of course continue building away at it. But for the time being, I'm going to end it off right here. So I hope you all like the new mechanism, and with me already being slightly dehydrated again here. My tomatoes are done nice. But with me having that done now, and having this beautiful unfolding mechanism, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please make sure to hit that like button right down below. That does help out the channel a ton, and if you haven't done so just yet, also, please definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below, as well as that bell icon right next to it to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. And with that said, if this is the last episode that you're watching before the Christmas holidays, of course, as I've already said in all the other episodes, I hope you'll all have a very, very Merry Christmas with your families. You'll have some time to relax. You'll all stay nice and healthy, and that you'll enjoy it as much as you can despite these very, very crazy times at the moment. And with that all out of the way, as always, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.